Pop here, just got my SGC order back today. I'm about to compare my pre-grade with the real deal. Come along and let's see how I did. Alright, first up we got Brock Bowers and the rated rookie. Let's see what I found. It looks like there was a pit on the front, one of the corners was rounded, and on the back, a couple white spots on the corners and a dog ear. It looks like the centering was a little bit off on the front. Like the back was fine. Surfaces, I gave it a 9.5. Edges, a 10. Corners, an 8. Centering, 9.5. And it looks like my pre-grade was either 8.5 or 9. So let's see what we got. $8.5. Right on the money. Alright, next we got Adonai Mitchell. I believe this one was out of 30, and a patch card from Leaf. Looks like we had a few scratches on the back, maybe a pit on the front, and some chipping on the corners. Centering on the front looked good. A little bit out of tolerance in the back, but not bad. Let's see what overall I gave the surface an 8, edges a 9.5, corners a 9, centering a 10 overall. I think it gets a 9. Let's see what we got. And we got a 9. Look at that. Nice. All right. Up next we got, this is Stetson Bennett. Now, this card had some issues, but I just like the card, and all these are for my collection, so I don't care what they get. Had definitely a few print lines on the back. Looks like a pit, a lot of pits on the front, and some minor scuffs. Centering looks like it was good. So overall, the surface, I gave it a 6. Edges a 9, corners a 10, and centering a 10. I think it would get a 7. Let's see. Yeah, I just like that card. It's a good looking card. A 9? Wow. I mean, I guess I'll take that, but there were definitely some issues with that, but hey. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, now this is Matthew Stafford. This one definitely had some issues that I remember. This one had a lot of scratches or scuffs on the front. There's some scratches there, some pits, a dent. Centering was off on the front. I guess there's intolerance in the back. Let's see what I gave this one. Surface, a 7. Edges, a 10. Corners, a 9. And centering, a 9. So overall, I think it would get an 8 or 8.5. Let's see what this. A 9. Well, I'll take that too. Wow. I thought I had more issues on it. All right, next we got Lewis Scene, I believe. Yeah. All right. I remember this one had a large, definitely some kind of scratch going down the front, and just a couple pits in the back. Looks like one of the corners had a minor ding. Centering was definitely off on the front and definitely off on the back. Let's see, centering, I gave it an 8.5, corners an 8.5 or a 9, edges a 10, surface 8.5. Thought it would get an 8. Let's see what we got on this. I like these cards, the Luminance, I like those. A 9.5. Wow, maybe I'm grading too harsh. Ooh, All right, but I'll take it. All right, up next we got Kamari Lassiter. This one, yeah, this one's 2 out of 10. Now, I didn't find much on this. I remember there was a pit on the front and some minor scratches. I guess the corners did have maybe some minor issues with it. Centering was good, front and back. Centering, I gave it a 10. Corners a 9. Edges an 8. Surface a 9. Overall, I think would get a 9 or a 9.5. I think those corners were just under magnification. Let's see what we get. A 10. Bam. Nice. 2 out of 10. All right. Next up, we've got the 1991 Upper Deck Michael Jordan. This one, it's an older card. It definitely had some issues. We had a couple corners, rounding and wears, a little bit of unevenness on the edge there. This had nothing on the front surface. There was a slight indentation on the back, and almost all the corners had something going on with it. But overall, let's see, I gave the surface a 9, edges a 9.5, corners 7.5, and centering a 10. I do remember the centering was good on this. Overall, I think this is going to get an 8. See what old MJ gets. An 8, right on the money. That's a good looking card. All right. Next up, we've got Jalen Carter. On the front, looks like, I remember that, had a little tiny speck of something, a little dent, some print lines, looks like some issues with the edges, some pits. Centering was definitely off on the front, but these cards are kind of hard. You'll see what I'm talking about to get the centering. So let's see, centering a 9, corners a 9.5, edges an 8.5, surface an 8. I think you'll get an 8, 8.5. Let's see, a 9.5. Maybe I was off with the centering. It's just kind of hard. I don't know, it doesn't have a good border on it, so those are hard to calculate, but let's move on to the next one. Let's see, where is that? We got a National Treasures Todd Gurley, 6 out of 10. All right, let's see. We got surface 8, edges 9.5, corners 9, centering 10. Overall, I think this was going to get a 9. Let's see what we got. 9.5. I will take that. All right, next up, we've got Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. We found this one. I remember this had an issue with a corner and an edge, a couple pits. Nothing too bad. Centering was good. Surface, I gave it an 8.5. Edges a 9. Corners a 9, and centering a 10. Overall, I think Coach Prime will get a 9. Let's see what we get. 9.5. Look at that. Man, I love those old Pro Set looking cards. All right. Now here we've got Nick Saban. I'm going to save both of these. We got both of these. We got a Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. Kirby Smart, past couple years, man, just we cannot get over the Alabama hump. But first, let's see what we got going on. All right, this is Nick Saban. Remember, there wasn't much going on. I know he had an edge issue and maybe a couple things with the corners. The centering on the front was a little bit off. I do remember that. Surface, I gave him a 10. Edges, a 9. Corners, an 8. Centering, a 9.5. Overall, I think he would get an 8.5. Let's see what we get. A 9. Oh man, that means Kirby, you gotta get me a 9.5 or 10 to beat Saban finally. All right. There was not much going on this. Maybe a little wear on one of the corners. There was a super teeny tiny speck on the back surface. Centering on the front was good. On the back, it was a little bit off. I think it was in tolerance for a 10 though. So centering, I gave it a 9.5. Corners a 9.5. Edges a 10. Surface a 9.5. I think you get a 9.5, hoping for a 10. Come on, Kirby. Let's see what we get. Boom! How you like that, Saban? You got a 9. Finally. Maybe this year we will beat Alabama. Man, I'm happy with that. Thanks for watching and keep following for more reveals like this. Let's see. Looks like we had dog ear on the corner, a couple pits. Centering was good. One pit on the back. Not much going on with it.